Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, National Anthem, and Alma Mater. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Join hands and voices sing as one in friendship unified, with loyalty that forms a bond made strong by Chatham pride. May our torch of learning light our ways, may we never forget our cougar days, and evermore will loudly praise our noble Chatham High.
Please be seated.
Good evening, eager graduates of the class of 2016, smiling parents, impatient but admiring siblings, proud and devoted friends and family, our accommodating and wise teachers and faculty, Principal Groh, Vice Principals Duranda, Walker, and Librera, and Dr. Lasusa. Welcome to the graduation of Chatham High School's class of 2016. We thank you for coming tonight to celebrate 282 students' successful completion of 13 years of education. If you're wondering what wisdom I, an 18-year-old, could possibly offer to all of you, then let me say this. I have no idea. Honestly, I was wondering the same thing, but I think I speak for all of us when I say I can't believe we're graduating. For a while there, I didn't know if we would make it through all of the homework, group projects, tests, and breathalyzers. Yet tonight, we are celebrating much more than the end of high school. We are celebrating the hard work, support, and love that got us here. We are celebrating every member of this audience, without whom we would not have had the courage or the wherewithal we needed to graduate. We are celebrating our alma mater and the childhoods that we have shared with one another. And we are here to celebrate all we have in common, a zip code, first days of school, and all our accomplishments, individually as well as collectively. Our seniors led the football team to success in the state final, and after a bit of a dry spell, gave us something to cheer for. Our girls' swim team had a 99.05% perfect streak during their time at the high school, reminding us that swimming actually is a sport, and one that we do pretty well here. Over the past 4 years, the Chatham hockey team gave the rest of us a great excuse to do the roller coaster cheer and dress up in any number of themes. We celebrate all of our sports teams for their sportsmanship in victory as well as defeat. Tonight, we are also celebrating the arts: Legally Blonde, The Drowsy Chaperone, Anything Goes, Shrek, CPAC showcases, and much more, which were all fantastic despite the lovely garbage cans catching water leaks in our auditorium. The class tried its hand at modeling in the Tonight Show senior fashion show, kept Ski Colby sufficiently busy during the ski trip, and survived prom weekend at Seaside against all odds with only one broken window and no bed bugs, as I know of. Seriously impressive, guys. Congrats. We also celebrate our differences. Each of our decisions for the next step in our lives, whether attending a 4-year institution, entering the workforce, or serving our nation in any variety of ways. Tonight, we celebrate change. You see, change is an unpredictable and intricate thing. Right now, the country is divided. People are angry, and they're searching for someone to lead the nation in a new direction. Each 2016 presidential candidate is offering his or her grand vision for change, but the country isn't really falling into the hands of any single politician. It is falling into the hands of the next generation, the millennials, us. While the president certainly is important and will influence the direction of the nation, he or she is ultimately one person whose tenure will last at most 8 years. We, as a generation, are not bound by the scope of a single mind or an 8-year term limit. We, as a generation, are agents of change, whose collective ideas and actions know no limits. We, as a generation, are taking control of a country that needs us to take what we have learned and what we can offer and inspire change. So instead of subscribing to a politician's vision for the nation, perhaps we do better to think about change on an individual level. Because change does not come from one person's vision, it comes from the bottom up. Taken together, individual actions can amount to national movements. The other day, I decided I needed to get up to date on current events, because it seemed that the past 2 weeks had been highly saturated with international headlines. Naturally, I turned to the most reliable source of news available to any proactive teen: Facebook. So I clicked the first video on my newsfeed, and it was a video of a reporter from last year interviewing a little boy, maybe 3 or 4 years old, who was being held in his father's arms outside of a vigil. It must have been taken in mid-November in Paris, when the city was mourning the devastating Paris attacks. The reporter asked the little boy if he understood why someone would carry out the attacks. The little boy replies in French, "Yes, because they're really, really mean." His dad reassures him, "There's bad guys everywhere, and they have guns, but we have flowers." Naturally, as any little kid would, the boy smiles and replies, "But flowers don't do anything." And then a moment later, his eyes widen, he turns to his father, and he says, "The flowers and the candles are here to protect us." Now, the message of this story is not to deceive ourselves that flowers are a defense to any bullet. The world is not perfect. There are really, really mean people out there. But as you can see by this little boy who so innocently cannot grasp the gravity of these attacks, people are not born inherently evil. They aren't born with hatred. Hatred is taught. Hatred is learned. And that hatred manifests itself not only in the Paris attacks, but in San Bernardino, in Orlando, in New York City on September 11th, 2001, a tragedy with reverberations that many in our community still feel, and in all the other acts of violence that we have felt so painfully as a nation and as a world in the past few years. But you see, the message of this story is to not be afraid. The flowers and the candles are here to protect you. As we leave Chatham and go out into a world that has been ripped apart by bullets, arm yourselves with flowers, your family and friends, your vote, your education. These are your flowers. And while your first instinct amidst all of this violence might be to retreat, go out and fight back with these, your most powerful defense. Go out and love. Bring with you the warmth and strength that your families, friends, and school community have imbued in you so deeply since you were born. Go out and vote. That is the gift of your citizenship and your voice for change. Go out and learn. Just because you are equipped with your high school diploma does not mean your education is done. Challenge yourself to keep learning both in and outside the classroom. Above all, go out and teach. If hatred is taught, then so is love. Change is an intricate and unpredictable thing. It is subtle and slow. It is standing up to bad guys. It is taking the love and bonds that we've been lucky enough to have here and carrying it with us into the world to bring about positive change. It is replacing bullets with flowers. So class of 2016, fellow graduates, friends, no matter who becomes the next president of our nation, no matter what your next step after graduation may be, do not be afraid. In all that you do, your family, your friends, and the world are watching. Enjoy the next few months, a time to savor, to relax, and to say thank you. We have been given our choice of tools to change the world. Which will we take? Let us choose wisely. Good luck and congratulations, class of 2016.
Each year, the senior class votes for a staff member to be recognized for the Distinguished Teacher Award. This year's recipient is someone who is always looking for ways to provide the best experience for her students. She enjoys the challenge of staying current and is innovative in her planning and preparation. This year's Distinguished Teacher plaque reads, "The Distinguished Teacher Award is presented by the graduating class of 2016 with sincere appreciation for the endless warmth and enthusiasm you've shown in sharing your love of world language and culture with us. Muchísimas gracias." The senior class has selected Mrs. Wishart. I would like to begin the recognition of the Chatham High School 2016 Senior Scholarship recipients by presenting the Principal's Cup to our valedictorian, William Marshall Hackett. And our salutatorian, Mark Ozdemir. Mr. Walker will continue announcing our scholarships and the recipients. I ask that you hold your applause until the last scholarship is announced, when all recipients will stand to be recognized as a group.
The American Legion Post 92 Scholarship is awarded to Matthew Thomas Harris. The Art League of the Chathams, Phoebe Reed Nichols. The Brett Carlton Barth Admiral Student Award, Emily Watson Wingate. The Susan G. Bronstein Memorial World Language Scholarship, Daniel Connor Bresnahan. The Carmela Cecere Music Scholarship, Kimberly Sophia Newschultz. The Chatham High School Athletics Booster Most Accomplished Athlete Scholarships, Ryan Anderson Barnett, Jessica Grace Barry. The Chatham High School Athletic Boosters Harvey Cohen Scholarship, Luke Gerard Malenga. The Chatham Borough Scholarship, Rashika Natasha Faulkner. Chatham Community Players Lee E. Nordholm Scholarship, Sarah Elizabeth Lowe. Chatham Education Association Scholarship, Angela Patricia Legner. Chatham Education Foundation Scholarship, Shannon Nicole Rauder and Nicholas Alexander Zach. Chatham Emergency Squad Scholarship, Thomas Patrick Carton. Chatham Fishawak Festival Inc. Scholarship, Christina Marie Massa. Chatham High School PTO Scholarships, Alexandra Josephine Frenzel, Mary Elizabeth Gordon, William M. Hackett, Jacqueline Rebecca Krieger, Catherine Elizabeth Novak, Mark Ozdemir, Justin Walter Sherman. Chatham Historical Society Margaret Kiesler Scholarship, Justin Robert Hayes. Chatham JC Scholarship, John Keenan Grobert. Chatham Kiwanis Scholarships, Mary Elizabeth Gordon, Mark Ozdemir. Chatham Music and Theater Booster Scholarship, Band Scholarship, Brianna Lynn Peterson. Choral Scholarship, Madeline Mary O'Malley Covino. Orchestra Scholarship, Rashida Louise Hay. Theater Scholarship, Catherine Elizabeth Iosa. Multiple Discipline Scholarships, Deborah Lisa Vandervoort, Catherine Elizabeth Novak. Chatham Milburn Short Hills Rotary Scholarships, Pranay V. Mala. Emma Alice Steiner. Chatham Township PBA Scholarships, John Keenan Grobert, Ashley Elizabeth Smith. Chatham Township Republican Committee Charles R. Clark Scholarship, Mary Elizabeth Gordon. Beth Kuhn Clark Scholarship, Rashida Louise Hay. Democratic Scholarship Committee of the Chatham Scholarship, Madeline Mary O'Malley Covino. Greater Lafayette Classic Service Scholarships, Lauren Bissett and Kristen Danielle Marquine. Green Village Volunteer Fire Department Scholarship, Jacqueline Rebecca Krieger, Emma Alice Steiner. Jonathan Harper Scholarship, Abigail Teresa Cashel. Vivian K. Hill School District of the Chathams County College of Morris Scholarships, Kevin Jose Barquero Maya and Jamie Ellis Vaz. Austin O. Huey Scholarships of the Community Foundation of New Jersey, Mary Elizabeth Gordon, Shannon Nicole Rauder, Deborah Lisa Vandervoort. Investors Bank Scholarship, Chatham Branch, William M. Hackett. Patricia Jones Scholarship, Austin John Pierce. Madison Lodge number 93, Free and Accepted Masons Philip T. Sproul Scholarship, Mary Elizabeth Gordon. Patrolman Anthony J. Pariso Scholarship, Andrew Christopher Ziegler. Paul E. Harris Memorial Great Reunion Award, Andrew Peter Moore. Nicholas F. Rizzo Fine Art Scholarship, Amanda Francis Lyons. Ralph Family Scholarship for the Performing Arts, Alexander Dalto Stewart. Edward Joseph E.J. Schmeltz Scholarship, Stephen Bonderitz, and Tristan James Lamont. Louis R. Sheet Scholarships, Sean Owen Conlon, Amy Elizabeth Duran, John Keenan Grobert, Ashley Elizabeth Smith, Emma Alice Steiner. Stephen Yohe Scholarships, Mary Elizabeth Gordon, Shannon Nicole Rauder. Peter W. Stosser Scholarship, Ashley Elizabeth Smith. Women's Club of Chatham Scholarships, Abigail Maureen Druitt, Mary Elizabeth Gordon, Catherine Elizabeth Novak, Maeve Catherine Peebles, and Shannon Nicole Rauder. Congratulations.
Good evening. Tonight's a special evening for Chatham High School, our seniors, and their families. Tonight we recognize our seniors as they have successfully met all requirements for graduation set forth by the School District of the Chathams and the State of New Jersey. Tonight's a time for celebration, but it's also a time for reflecting not only on the accomplishments that were achieved over the last 4 years, but also on the challenges that each of our seniors experienced and worked to overcome. Back in April, I watched a documentary on ESPN about Bobby Hurley, a college basketball star in the early 1990s, a New Jersey native, which I thought was inspiring and symbolized much of what our seniors experienced during their time at Chatham High School. I'd like to share this message with our seniors as they reflect on where they have been and consider where they would like to do, what they would like to do in the future. Bobby Hurley grew up in Jersey City and attended a small parochial school, St. Anthony's, in his hometown. While at St. Anthony's, he played basketball for his father, who was the head coach, winning multiple state championships. During his senior year, St. Anthony's earned the #1 ranking in the country. After graduating in 1989, Bobby attended Duke University on a basketball scholarship. In 1991, Bobby's sophomore year, Duke won its school's first national championship. The following year, they repeated as national champions, and Bobby Hurley was named Most Valuable Player of the Final Four tournament. That type of success did not come easily. It brought with it a constant pressure of always having to be the best and an expectation from others that anything less than the best was considered underachieving. While Duke did not win every game and was not perfect, the team, led by Bobby Hurley, knew their greatest opportunity for success was to stay committed to each other and work through the pressures of being an elite basketball team. Their team's success was part of what defined their individual success. Bobby Hurley was selected #7 overall by the Sacramento Kings in the 1993 NBA draft. He quickly became a starter at point guard for the Kings until his life changed on December 12, 1993, after only 19 NBA games. On his way home from a game in Sacramento, Bobby Hurley was broadsided by a car going 50 miles an hour as it ran a stop sign. Bobby, who wasn't wearing a seatbelt, was thrown from the vehicle and sustained life-threatening injuries. He nearly died. Over the next several months, he went through arduous physical therapy and gradually got back on the basketball court. 11 months after the accident, he rejoined the Sacramento Kings for their opening game of the 1994 season. He was back, but he was not the same. After 4 more years in the NBA, Bobby retired. Over the next 10 years, Bobby Hurley stayed away from basketball. He invested in a horse farm, trained thoroughbreds, and raced horses as a way to remain competitive. In 2010, the market crashed, and he found himself millions of dollars in debt. Bobby Hurley's father was confident that he would land on his feet and that all he had experienced in life prepared him to deal with the challenges he was facing. A short time later, Bobby returned to his passion, basketball. He coached college basketball as an assistant for his younger brother for 3 years before becoming a successful head coach at the University of Buffalo and currently at Arizona State. As you reflect on your high school career this summer, you'll recognize that your experiences are not dissimilar to Bobby Hurley's. Each of you has had success individually, and many of you have had success as part of something bigger than yourself. Whether it was a member of one of our school productions, one of our music groups, an athletic team, or even a group project in one of your classes, your input and effort had a positive impact on others. Your hard work was rewarded. Each of you has failed at something. That's okay. It's how you learn. It's how you respond to failing that determines where you finish. Recognizing failure, holding yourself accountable for attaining a particular goal, and making adjustments to have a greater chance at success the next time is all part of the process of growing and developing. You have done this your whole life and will continue to engage in this process as new doors open for you. At some point over the last 4 years, you have faced unexpected challenges like Bobby faced after the accident. There are many things in life that happen that we can neither foresee nor control. Taking a step back, gaining a clear perspective on those challenges often leads to the best response, allowing for the greatest long-term result. Focus on the light at the end of the tunnel when working through those challenges. This will make you stronger. Finally, follow your passion. Do things you enjoy so you can enjoy the things you do. Surround yourself with supportive people whether it's family or friends. They were the ones who know you best and want to see you succeed at the highest level. Take time to thank those who have supported you over the last 4 years. They were there when you needed them, and they'll be there when you need them again. Just like Bobby Hurley's father believed Bobby's experience prepared him for the challenges he faced later in life, I am confident that what each of you has experienced while at Chatham High School has prepared you for your next steps. Thank you for what you've brought to Chatham High School. I wish you nothing but the best. Dr. LaSousa, I present to you the class of 2016.
Thank you, Mr. Groh. Members of the faculty, family members, and graduates, congratulations on making it to the best night of the school year, and in fact, the best night that you've had in your time at Chatham. I'll keep my remarks short and just try to leave you with one last piece of advice before you conclude your career as Chatham students. Last summer, I read a book called Where You Go Is Not Who You Will Be by Frank Bruni, who is an award-winning journalist from the New York Times. And the central thesis of the book is that the name of the college you attend matters much, much less than what you do once you get there. And let me just explain for a second. Mr. Bruni believes that the college admissions process is imperfect, unforgiving, and fails to value the precise qualities and activities that most likely will lead to success and fulfillment later on in your life. Specifically, he thinks the 10th place decimal point in your GPA and your exact SAT score will fade in prominence once you arrive at college. And instead, what will become more important is your ability to make meaningful connections with other human beings, particularly those from whom you can learn from, like mentors and professors, and also the degree to which you take advantage of the opportunities that surround you, like internships, special courses, unique programs that your colleges run, study abroad opportunities, apprenticeships if you're not going to college, and so forth. And if he's right, I think his ideas help in part to explain why the second leading cause of death among college kids today is suicide. Kids who arrive at college have done an awful lot right. They've checked the boxes, they've followed the rules, they've completed their homework on time, they've prepped for the SATs or other standardized tests. And when those types of tasks fade in importance, and what instead rises in importance is advocating for yourself, proactively establishing relationships with other people, going out and taking advantage of opportunities that might seem intimidating. And you're trying to do all of that just at the time you're living away from home for the first time without the same support system that you've had here in Chatham. It's really hard and can be overwhelming and scary, not to bring you down on graduation night. So my advice to you is that it doesn't matter if you're going to an Ivy League school like Princeton or Brown, or you're going to a state school like Montclair or Rutgers, or a county school like CCM or UCC, or no school at all because you've decided that that's not what you feel like doing right now. When you get there, wherever it is, don't sweat the small stuff. And certainly don't panic when you come up against a set of challenges or obstacles that force you to rethink what you're doing or change course or direction. You're 18. You're not supposed to have it all figured out yet. Your parents are probably in their 40s or 50s or 60s, and they don't have it all figured out yet. So instead, when you get to wherever you're going, focus on what's important. Let your hair down. Go after that which interests, intrigues, inspires you. Where you go is not who you will be, but the decisions you make and what you do when you're there will ultimately determine who you are and who you become and the fulfillment and purpose that you have in life in the long run. So that's my advice. And now I'm proud to pronounce to the faculty members, family members, members of the Board of Education of the School District of the Chathams, you may stand up, that with the authority granted me by the Department of Education of the State of New Jersey and the Board of Education of the School District of the Chathams, I certify the Chatham High School class of 2016. Thank you.
Alexandra Emily Borriello.
William M. Hackett.
Alexandra J. Botto.
Mark Ozdemir.
Michael David Kelstrom.
Juan June Lee.
Luke Gerard Malanga.
Andrew Thomas McCabe.
Kimberly Sophia Newschultz.
Jason Alexis.
Zachary Carter Atkins.
Daniela Baez.
Zachary Thomas Ball.
Bridget Denise Ballard.
Laura Ann Barber.
Paige Kathleen Barmakian.
Ryan Anderson Barnett.
Kevin Jose Barquero Maya.
Christina Rose Barrett.
Jessica Grace Berry.
Sebastian Joseph Basile.
Rose Lynn Bear.
David August Berger.
Corbin Allen Berry.
Jake Thomas Bevich.
Lidio Bikaku.
Stephen Bondarich.
Lawrence Bassett.
Christopher Stephen Bradle.
Brian John Brady II.
Ryan Bresnahan.
Daniel Connor Bresnahan.
Rachel Elizabeth Bruff.
Evan Thomas Bressler.
Emily Caruso Buckman.
Jared Stephen Bruner.
Jack Curtis Bird.
Megan Elizabeth Butler.
Thomas Patrick Carton.
Nathaniel James Carson.
Jonathan Chang.
Abigail Teresa Cashel.
Alexander Carlisle Kohorsky.
Stephanie Juyun Chung.
Matthew Thomas Collington.
Matthew Patrick Coleman. Sean Owen Conlon.
Emily Taylor Conlon.
Sheila Connolly.
Michaela Casarda Connor.
Patrick Quesarda Connor.
Amory Villaflores Corpus Nicholas.
Emil David Cotto.
Madeline Mary O'Malley Covino.
Kathleen Cronin.
Devesh Gurish Daji.
Alexander Blair Delzell.
Catherine Helen Danaher.
Justin Arthur Darling.
Sophie Marie de Kaiser.
Bradley Richard Delade.
Tracy Francis Delayed.
Celine Devine.
Ryan Ding.
Molly Catherine Dinhaupt.
Evangelia Diplis.
Alexander Daniel Doherty.
Matthew Michael Doucette.
Abigail Maureen Druitt.
Amy Elizabeth Durin.
Jacob Philip Eig.
Justine Teresa Elliott.
Anna Rose Elston.
Jane Rose Ewald.
Cassandra Falone.
Harrison James Ferrugia.
Roshika Natasha Faulkner.
Catherine Elizabeth Fell.
Malena Fernandez.
Nicholas Richard Ferrone.
David Joseph Flynn.
Thomas Charles Flynn.
Ava Marie Fernero.
Isaac Cameron Francis.
Courtney Deanna Franks.
Alexandra Josephine Frenzel.
Margaret Amelia Fuller.
Elizabeth Ann Gallagher.
Maria Eileen Garavente.
Matthew Gentile.
Kevin Gazelle.
Stefan Goals.
Mary Elizabeth Gordon. Thank you, Jack. Congratulations.
John Keenan Grobert.
Jack Hamilton Hale.
Matthew Thomas Harris.
Margaret Carruthers Hart.
Alyssa Marie Hartigan.
Rashida Louise Hay.
Justin Robert Hayes.
Erin Eileen Healy.
Brian Pascal Hoy.
Brian Thomas Heil.
Jacqueline Noel Hickey.
Jacob Michael Holman.
Connor Jonathan Holmes.
Kyle Alexander Hopkins.
Jenna Ann Huffman.
Liam Patrick Hines.
Michael Lawrence Iofredo.
Catherine Elizabeth Iosa.
Abigail Bose Irish.
Sarita Jaramillo Valencia.
Caroline Renee Jamie.
Jessica Lauren Jagodnik.
Sarah Taylor Jesse.
Megan Elizabeth Keefe.
David Andrew Cass Jr. Hannah Marcella Keeshan.
Hannah Jade Kelly Quigley.
Emma Michelle Kennedy.
Jahansab Khan.
Christopher Joseph Kinder.
Kirsten Elizabeth King.
Anna Cantine Knightley.
Carly Marie Knightley.
William Lewis Kramer.
Riley Marie Kraus.
Jacqueline Rebecca Krieger.
Gregory Russell Kurlak.
Elizabeth Adrian Kirk.
Spencer William LaChance.
Charles John Lamantia.
Bridget Genevieve Landy.
Devaney Ann Latino.
Colleen Marie Lair.
Tristan James Lamont.
Angela Patricia Legner.
Megan Elise Leonard.
Gianna Lynn Filomeno Lepore.
Amanda Frances Lyons.
Catherine Francis Lafredo.
Sean Robert Lonergan.
Ricardo Lopez.
Sarah Elizabeth Lowe.
Inga Reese Luria.
Erica Lauren Macri.
Christopher Charles Marr.
Grace Margaret Malanga.
Pranay V. Molla.
Megan Elizabeth Maltby.
Juliana Teresa Marino.
Caitlin Lucille Maroney.
Michael Vincent Murata.
Kristen Danielle Marqueen.
Christina Marie Massa.
Kara Rose McCaffrey.
Jennifer Nora McCann.
Kristen Jean McDermott.
Charlotte Francis McDougald.
Nicholas Gerard McGow.
Colin James McKenna.
Mark Andrew McNally Jr.
Ian Mercer.
William Austin Merrill.
Kaylee Elizabeth Meyer.
Priscilla Rose Michaelevich.
Mark Jason Malone.
Alexandra Marie Mogelvang.
Lucas Manuel Montano.
Andrew Peter Moore.
Fiona Davies Moran.
Shannon Lorraine Moran.
Olivia Grace Morris.
Patrick Philbin Mortensen.
Robert William Moskowitz.
Chloe Mugel.
Hunter Donovan Murphy.
Albert Quinton Murray IV.
William Ryan Nocht.
Michael Nall.
Caroline Ryan Nash.
Riley Raymond Neese.
Colin John Ness.
Matthew Nessler.
Phoebe Reed Nichols.
Catherine Elizabeth Novak.
Michael Kenneth Nunn.
Michael Joseph O'Connell IV.
Claire Wilcox O'Connor.
Thomas O'Connor.
John Joseph O'Neill IV.
Sarah Oliver.
William Brandt Olson.
Dylan Philip Ott.
Stephen James Pagliara.
David Thomas Panos.
Christopher Baggio Papa.
Nicholas Paul Pascalides.
Audrey Taylor Patrick.
Emily Rose Patterson.
Maeve Catherine Peebles.
Carly Rachel Pento.
Tanner Cole Pentony.
Alexandra Miller Perrin.
Brianna Lynn Peterson.
Austin John Pierce.
Samantha Antoinette Pike.
Joshua Ryan Pollard.
Rebecca Ann Prill.
Nicholas Justin Puzo.
Anya Ellen Radam.
Lorenzo Rafa.
Victoria Ann Rasmussen.
Shannon Nicole Router.
Santiago Rendon.
Elizabeth Anna Richards.
Jake Hunter Ritwager.
Olivia Lee Roche.
Liam Butler Rogalin.
Dylan Bernard Roos.
Lee Matthew Russo.
Nicholas Joseph Salerno.
Alexander Talmadge Sands.
Gislina McBride Saul.
Justin William Sayasith.
Andrew Barrett Schmidt.
Brendan Charles Schroeder.
Benjamin Seitz Siddick.
Margaret Linnea Shannon.
Justin Walter Sherman.
Claire Elizabeth Shimshak.
William Michael Sitar.
Meghna Sitharam.
Ashley Elizabeth Smith.
Emily Rose Sorrentino.
Austin William Stamford.
Emma Alice Steiner.
Andrew Philip Stram.
Caroline Joan Stram.
Alexander Dalto Stewart.
Henry William Stuznik.
Luke Andre Sukanik.
Dennis Driscoll Sullivan.
Fallon Marie Sullivan.
William Brian Sullivan.
Catherine Ann Switzer.
Juliette Marie Tancredi.
Erin Connolly Tensick.
Kelsey Ann Terry.
Harrison Christopher Tanyola.
Alex Michael Torres.
Anthony Joseph Torioni.
Olivia Grace Treadout.
Deborah Lisa Vandervoort.
Jamie Ellis Vaz.
Christine Anna Vernazza.
Caroline Marianne Viskovich.
David Anthony Vivona Jr.
John Louise Voigt.
Matthew K. Walker.
Elaine Morella Weaver.
Do I sit down after this or no? Go direct. I think you go direct.
Nicole Lorraine Weaving.
Morgan Lee Webster.
Kate Elizabeth Wines.
Kelly Marie Wines.
Peter Alexander Weinstein.
Kevin Patrick Whiteman.
Jake Nicholas Willis.
Amanda Elizabeth Wilson.
James Alexander Wilson.
Emily Watson Wingate.
Rachel Mackenzie Womer.
Hamilton Seabury Wyatt Luth.
Nicholas Alexander Zach.
Anna Helen Zagorin.
Evan William Zeliff.
Elysia Zhang.
Andrew Christopher Ziegler.
Well, how does that feel, huh? My name is Joe Weber. I'm the president of the Board of Education, and this is the only perk of this job, so you'll have to bear with me for a minute. I'm continued to be overwhelmed by the accomplishments of this class. Will brought up a few items, but over the years, the 13 years that you've been together, some have moved in, some have moved out, but you've really made it an effort to support each other in absolutely every avenue that you've taken on, whether it's academics or performing arts, the visual arts, or on the athletic field. It is just truly amazing the spirit and the unity that this particular class has. You've heard your parents and your family use the saying, "It takes a village," probably 100 times. You've seen them, reach out and pull in their village for help. Well, that sense of unity and that sense of spirit that you've all developed and created your village, that doesn't end when you walk out this door. You've built your village, you've even made up t-shirts, you've named your village Cougar Nation. As you go on to your college careers or into the military, into the workforce, those relationships just continue, they grow, they expand, and I'm sure you'll get new t-shirts as your village grows. But the one thing I want you to remember is continue to support your villagers. Continue to reach out if one of your villagers needs a hand. And more importantly, if you need a hand, you're sitting around 300 friends that you've known for a very long time. And I'm very confident when I say that I speak for your parents, not one person in this room expects you to go it alone. We don't, and we certainly don't expect you guys to either. So if you hit a bump in the road, I'd say call, but you guys don't use phones. So text or Snapchat or Twitter, whatever it is that you all do. But just reach out and lend a hand where a hand can be lent, and just reach out if you need a hand. So as you head off to all those great places in the fall, just remember your villagers, and more importantly, as Dr. LaSousa said, take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way in whatever avenue or way it presents itself. So before we let you go, we just have one last piece of housekeeping, and I think it's very fitting that as you left for kindergarten, your parents probably gave you some sort of instruction like, listen to your teacher and don't bite anybody. Still good advice, but it's only fitting that a Chatham parent sends you off on the last day of high school as well. So if you don't mind, as your last instruction, will the class of 2016 please stand? Please move your tassels from right to left, and congratulations.